Hello, everyone. My name is John Brenman. I'm the president here at MOA Vacations. Thank you for joining us today. I'm very excited about this one. First off, we have probably a larger enrollment on this than anything we've had, I think, since the beginning of the year. So, a lot of people interested in Rocky Mountaineer. Um, so before we get started, I always like to let people know that we are recording this. So this evening you'll receive an email which will include a link so you can rewatch this webinar. We did start right on the hour. So if Kristen or myself says something that you want to revisit, just kind of make a note of the time, and then rather than watching the entire 1 hour webinar, you can actually just fast forward to that part. We are going to talk about the two different groups, the Rockies to Red Rock here in the United States, and then the first passage of the West up in the Canadian Rockies. So if you have one of those that you're more interested in the other, just kind of make a mental note of when Kristen starts talking about that. We always want to make sure people know that your friends and family are invited to join you on any trip that MOA does, be it the signature groups, these Rocky Mountaineer groups, or even if you just call and book something on your own. Always bring friends and family. They get all the MOA discounts, they get all the MOA amenities, and of course, our concierge level of service. Going to talk real quick. We have a lot of people today who this is their first webinar. So I like to talk kind of about what makes MOA Vacations unique. But before I get into that, just so you kind of know how this is going to go, I'm going to talk real quick about MOA Vacations. Then I'm going to turn it over to Kristen. She's going to share information about Rocky Mountaineer. And then we are going to do a deep dive on both those groups, the Rockies to Red Rocks and the first passage to the West, at the end of which we're going to do a Q&A. So at any point when I turn it over to Kristen, if you have a question, just go ahead and drop it. There's a little box at the bottom that's like a conversation box that says Q&A. Just drop your questions in there. I'm going to be answering during Kristen's presentation. But when we get to the end, we'll revisit all of those questions that will be of a general interest to everyone. So if you ask, a question about single rates or who knows what it might be, but don't worry, if I give you my answer, we'll make sure we get back to it so everybody will see that at the end. So at any point, feel free to drop those questions in. Chris and I are here to make sure we answer all of your questions. Okay, so getting into what makes MOA unique. Doing something a little different today. I have a couple of slides that Kristen's going to scroll through while I go through this of the last, I think it was the last or maybe the second to last Rocky Mountaineer group we did. We had people that sent us photos and comments on the trip or whatever. And I just thought, particularly for the people who've done these webinars before, who've heard kind of my talk about MOA vacations, you have some light reading. And these pictures are
Mhm.
actually pictures that MOA members took while they were on the trip and sent to us. So, like this picture here, this was all MOA members. We'd like to, take over the bus or take over the train car and have it be nothing but MOA members. It's such a great experience because then everyone that you meet on that bus will be a MOA member, what I like to call friends you may not have met yet. All right. So MOA vacations, the four things that I always talk about. The first is we can just, I know what they are, Kristen. We can just kind of go through
Okay.
the slides as we go. So the first thing is customer service. I kind of explain this quickly as we are and continue to be the only travel agency in the United States that provides travel on a satisfaction guaranteed basis. And what that means, basically what it says, if you have an issue, a problem, concern, either before or during your trip, you reach out to us. In the overwhelming 90% plus of the cases, you'll talk directly to me and we will get that resolved within 48 hours. I will reach out to Kristen if it's Rocky Mountaineer. We have contacts at all the cruise lines, all the tour companies, so we're able to get that problem resolved to your satisfaction as quickly as possible. If for some reason I'm not available, I am escorting a couple of MOA groups coming up. One leaves next week, one leaves mid-September. Mike Tyrell, our vice president, will assist you in my absence. but trust me, I'll be working on these cruises anyway, always checking my email and stuff like that. Okay, the second thing is guaranteed lowest price. That one's self-explanatory. You come to MOA Vacations to book your vacations for two reasons. One, superior service, and the second one is we guarantee the lowest price. In fact, in a lot of cases, like on these groups, we have prices that are lower than you could get going direct to Rocky Mountaineer. We do have a MOA amenity program. Um, on a lot of cruise lines, for example, we'll have complimentary onboard credit, those types of things. And then finally, the group opportunities, which of course is what we're talking about today. Not only the opportunity to go on Rocky Mountaineer, but the opportunity to go on Mountaineer and share that experience with your fellow MOA members from all across the country. So the last thing I'm going to say before I turn it over to Kristen is as she goes through this, keep in mind we're highlighting the two MOA group departures. But if there's another itinerary that you'd like to do, we can absolutely help you with that, save you money. There may not be other MOA members on that train with you, but absolutely. Or, for example, let's say Rockies to Red Rock. You want to do it, but the date that we have the group set up for you doesn't work. We still want to assist you with Rocky Mountaineer. So just give us a call or drop us an email. The very last slide, if you don't already have it, is going to be our email address and our 800 number. Just give us a call. You'll get a full-time professional travel consultant who specializes in train travel like Rocky Mountaineer, who can help you book any itinerary you want, any date you want. But one of the things that we offer unique, of course, is that group travel opportunity. So we're going to focus on those. But I think as we kind of go through those two itineraries, you'll get a great idea of what Rocky Mountaineer does. So remember, any questions, just drop them in the Q&A. And Kristen, it's up to you now. Tell us about Rocky Mountaineer and tell us about these two great groups that we have.
I know we have great groups, and I am super excited to be here, John. Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for joining me today. And I loved reading all of those testimonials because I also just got off Rockies to Red Rocks, which I am in love with. So we are going to talk about that today. We're going to do the Canadian product first, and then we're going to move into Rockies to the Red Rocks. So many exciting things to share with you guys. So we are going to get to it. I'm going to take myself off camera, though, so it's not distracting. First things first, I need to remind everybody that we are not a sleeping train. We are a daylight only experience. In other words, you may fall asleep on our train, just being lulled asleep, but there are no beds for you to sleep in. And we are going to do our very best to make sure that you do not fall asleep on our trains. Our journeys provide comfortable hotel accommodations for you at night, where we deliver your luggage straight to your room, and you will be given the key to your room while you're on board with us. So really, we hold your hand the entire way. Again, not a sleeping train. It's a daytime experience. So welcome aboard. Today, as John said, we are going to be looking at the exciting Rocky Mountaineer products, but we really are going to be focusing on these two amazing MOA groups that John has pulled, and we are very excited to have you guys on board. So let's look at this. Again, luxury daytime train experience. And because we offer these incredibly scenic journeys, we operate seasonally, right? So we operate during the months of April to October in Canada. And we operate we're going through Thanksgiving next year in the American Southwest on our Rockies to Red Rocks. So we are extending that just a little bit. But keep in mind, this is not a fast-paced journey, right? We're not trying to get anywhere fast. We are taking it slow. We are giving our guests the opportunity to really embrace and enjoy the amazing surroundings that you're going to be looking at. And we're only going to be traveling at about 35 to 40 miles an hour. I would say 40 miles an hour is even pushing it. But having just come off it, you don't want to go any faster than that. Going at that pace sort of provides an unrushed journey. There's a lot of things happening when you're on board with us, and there is spectacular scenery literally everywhere you look. So we don't want to go too fast. I am going to show you a video that is a great sort of breakdown of who we are and what you have to look forward to. Hopefully you can hear it. One thing to note, I do like to share this because I think it's really important that you know that we are a family owned company. So our current CEO is actually the son of the founder. And that means, look, I come from a corporate environment, and this is such a refreshing new way to work in the travel industry because these owners take great pride in giving you special attention to every detail in everything we do. And we look at everything from top to bottom, break it down, and make sure that what we are putting on board, what we're offering our guests, is the absolute best. So when you are on board with us, before we really get into things, I do just want to kind of go over the experience. We have excellent service. You're going to be welcomed. You're going to be checked in. You're going to be helped with your luggage. Your luggage will show up in your room. You do not have to lift it. We are feeding you all day long and plying you with drinks and taking care of your every need with full multi-course meals and gourmet snacks. We have complimentary alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages. Of course, the scenery that you're going to see is not easily accessible by car. So it is awe-inspiring all around you, and you're going to probably see quite a bit of wildlife while you're out there. And then, of course, our onboard hosts are masterful storytellers. And it was just so fun. And I'm going to tell you a funny story later on when we get into Rockies to the Red Rocks about the host telling stories, because, you know, some of these formations actually have names that I was not aware of, even though I've been through that period or that area quite a few times. Before we get into the groups for the MOA groups that have been pulled, I wanted to let you know that if neither of your groups works for you today, which John has already referenced just a little bit, Rocky Mountaineer does offer a multitude of Canadian experiences. So we have our 3, but we've added 1. And then we also have our spectacular circle journey. And then our newest Canyon Spirit, which is the American Southwest. So if neither of the groups today works for you, we certainly can get you set up at another time or doing a different journey. So to begin, for guests who want like the best of the best, and you have got the time, and this is a bucket list for you, our Grand Adventure Circle Journey might be the perfect option. You will get to experience our most diverse scenery on our 3-day rail rainforest to gold rush route, which combines with our first passage to the west, which is our most popular route. So it pretty much does take you all throughout Canada, those Rocky Mountains, giving you the full scope of the beauty and really all that the Canadian Rockies have to offer. Journey Through the Clouds is one of our most popular. First Passage to the West is our most popular, but this will take you to Lake Louise, Banff, and this is an 8-night package. We have packages that are 5, 6, 7, 8, a variety of packages, whatever works for you, sort of whisks you away to those gorgeous Canadian Rockies and spends a lot of time up there. Similarly, to highlight our only 3-day route, for those looking to experience the ever-changing landscapes, which this gives you a lot of opportunity to see, that is our Rainforest to Gold Rush, probably our most historic route. This classic package can be up to 6 nights. Well, the classic package is 6 nights, but we have the opportunity for you to stay 2 nights in each endpoint destination. So 2 nights in Vancouver, 2 nights in Jasper, and then you'll overnight in Whistler and Quesnel. And Quesnel is just a quaint little town, which is kind of a good place to stop. And then, of course, First Passage to the West, like I mentioned, and we're going to be doing a deeper dive into this later today, is by far our most popular itinerary. And again, we're going to look at the rich history and culture. And I just got off this train on Sunday. I'm super excited to share it with you because our experience was fantastic. And I think you're really going to enjoy what you're going to be looking at today. So we did just extend this Rockies to the Red Rocks. We used to just go from Denver through Glenwood Springs into Moab. And we are now we now have you going up to Salt Lake City, which has taken care of a lot of issues with travel. We still have overnights in Moab, of course, available if you really want to explore that part of the world. It is stunning. You've got all the Arches National Parks, the Mighty 5 parks, and then Salt Lake City gosh, the trip up to Salt Lake City, I really didn't realize the topography was as beautiful as it is. But between Moab and Salt Lake City, really has a lot to offer. So, and a lot happens. We're going to take a look at that. Again, I sort of mentioned the Mighty Five. If you want to spend some time in Moab, you can certainly just do the 2-day rail. And it looks exactly like this. There are so many opportunities for incredible excursions that get you out into the rock formations. And really, you're able to walk just about everywhere. And it is just a fantastic experience if you haven't gotten to do this before. It's definitely a bucket list for a lot of people. You've got Zion National Park, Capitol Reef National Park. We were fortunate to do the Arches National Park. I've been to Bryce Canyon, Zion. I mean, it's just all incredible topography in the United States. So the first group that we're going to take a look at is our first passage to the west in Canada. We're going westbound, okay? So we're going from Calgary up to Banff through Kamloops and into Vancouver. And let's take a look at what that looks like. So while you're on board with us, this package includes just about everything. You have 2 days on board the Rocky Mountaineer in our Gold Leaf service, which we're going to take a look at. You have 6 nights hotel accommodations. All of your breakfasts are included, and Chef Caleb has put together a pretty fantastic menu for you. All of your meals are gourmet. They're definitely elevated. And we have unlimited beverages on board. Non-alcoholic, alcoholic. We've got special cocktails, mocktails. We've got everything that you could ever wish for while on board with us. You will also get a national park pass. You will be on a sightseeing tour of the Banff region, which I get to do that actually in 2 weeks. So I'm really super excited about that. You will get to experience the Banff gondola. And then all tours and transfers are included in this specific itinerary. Again, your luggage, lucky you are not going to have to lift a thing. We will take care of all of that for you. And then, of course, all of your gratuities are prepaid for your hosts, who you probably will fall in love with while you're on board with us. So we're going to take a look at your destinations with this journey because, of course, life, as we know, is all about the journey, but the destinations are pretty fun too. So before and after the train journey, you'll get to visit some of the most beautiful destinations in the world. I know Canada is super popular right now to visit, offers so much in the way of just beautiful scenery, and the cities have a lot of culture and vibrant things to do. And you will have definitely enough time to explore all of your destinations before boarding the train. And of course, when you get to your end destination. So day 1, you are going to begin your journey in Calgary, which is framed by the Rockies to the west and the rushing waters of the Bow River. And Calgary is sort of known as the cow town, right? It exudes a super youthful vitality. It's very energetic. There's a lot to do. You're going to have a fantastic first day here, and you will be staying at the Fairmont Palliser Hotel, which is one of Calgary's premier hotels. Total 5-star, gorgeous hotel. This hotel is timeless landmark in Canadian history. It's been welcoming guests for over 110 years, quite a long time, and is renowned for its luxurious accommodations, its exceptional dining, and its impeccable service. So it's definitely a product that we are partnered with, kind of goes hand in hand with the elevated luxury environment of who Rocky Mountaineer is. But all around here, you'll have premium shopping. You'll have all kinds of cultural venues, attractions like the Calgary Tower, which you see to the left there, and the Calgary Zoo. So a lot of things that will be fun for you to do. Stevens Avenue, I like to point out, because this is a foot traffic only walking area that's filled with all kinds of fun shopping and little kitschy stores and restaurants. Just a great way to experience part of the downtown environment of Calgary. So on day 2 and day 3, we are going to be shuttled up to Banff, and you're going to have a great amount of time in Banff to really explore the beauty. And Banff by far. I've heard about it for years and years and years. And I am so excited that you're going to get to experience this. It is one of the most beautiful places on earth, and it's home to an incredible national park, all kinds of distinctive hotels, which we're going to take a look at, different cuisines, and a natural hot spring. I love hot springs. So people from all around the world come to experience Banff, and you're going to have that at the beginning of your experience, which will give you extra time here. I'm not exactly sure if this is going to be the motor coach that you will be traveling from Calgary to Banff in. However, it will be very similar. This one's actually run by Brewster/Pursuit, who does all of our sightseeing tours up there. And they do a fantastic job. So these motor coaches are top of the line. You will be comfortable. You will have air conditioning or heat, depending on what you need. There's onboard restrooms. There's a microphone system for our hosts to tell you stories along the way, and they really are gifted. They will keep you entertained. And you'll sort of just enjoy your tour exploring all the exciting places around Banff, including the Banff Gondola, Bow Falls, I think Surprise Corner, and then the Hoodoos. So your day will be filled, and you'll probably be tired by the time you check into your hotel, which for you guys will be the luxury Moose Hotel and Suites. And so the design of the Moose Hotel is, I'm going to call it mountain elegance. It's very warm. It's very rich. It's got a lot of natural materials. You're going to see that it's got outdoor pools. It's got a bright indoor swimming pool. There's all kinds of views that you're going to have access to just while you're in the hot tubs or hanging out at the bar on the ceiling or rooftop bar. So lots of fun things to do in the Moose Hotel. I think you guys are going to really, really enjoy this hotel. In Banff on day 3, you will enjoy a full day of sightseeing and learn all about the natural forces that have shaped the appearance of the lakes and streams that are found in this area of the Rocky Mountains. Beautiful images here. Highlights will include Lake Louise, the Yoho National Park, the Spiral Tunnels, Emerald Lake. This is the natural bridge. You can see little people on here. If you look really closely, right in the middle, you're going to see some people on there. And then you'll also be visiting Takaka Falls. So a lot of really exciting things to do. There's a great shot of downtown Banff. And of course, the suspended bridge that you'll have access to. And all kinds of fun dining in downtown Banff. I mean, you are not going to be bored. You're going to have plenty to do. It's a little town. I would say it's very reminiscent of maybe Aspen. So all kinds of fun things to do down there. Super darling. And Banff is nestled right in the bottom of the mountain range there. So I'm pretty sure you can walk just about everywhere, but they also will have access to taxis and Ubers. So you will have the ability to get around. There's a great shot of the gondola experience that is also included in your package. I have not gotten to experience this yet, but from everyone that I've talked to, it is a must do. You will have about 45 minutes at the top on your tour. So definitely a good amount of time to get some dining in, walk around a little bit, get some gorgeous shots of the mountain range all around you. Yeah, hopefully you're not afraid of heights because it certainly does go high. Okay, on day 4, that was Banff. On day 4, it's a big day. It's a big day because you're going to be boarding our luxury rail car for day 1 of your train experience. And we will be traveling from Banff to Kamloops. So welcome aboard. Everything on board Rocky Mountain is carefully choreographed to make sure that your experience, remember, we're family owned, we're small. We want to make sure that your experience and your journey is effortless, it's luxurious, and we have a goal to make this an unforgettable experience for you. You're going to be welcome and provided assistance with your luggage, of course. Remember, you don't have to lift a thing. And then once you get on board with us, you're going to be greeted by your host, and you're going to have a celebratory mimosa toast to get you going on your day. And your day is going to be filled with all kinds of culinary delights that Chef Caleb has put together for you. Again, with multi-course meals, all kinds of gourmet snacks. And during the journey, your hosts are going to explain everything around you. So everything you're seeing, they know the history of it. They're going to point out wildlife. I mean, if wildlife is spotted, they're going to slow that train down almost to a stop, so that everybody on board can get pictures, experience that wildlife. Friends, as John likes to say, you didn't know the friends that you're going to make. Friends you didn't know that you were going to have. You all become very comfortable together, and we're going to take a look at that as well. So you guys will be traveling on Gold Leaf Service, which is our most elevated luxury service that Rocky Mountaineer has to offer. Gold Leaf Service is our custom designed bi-level coach that offers 360-degree views out of our fully domed windows. You guys will be sitting upstairs, so you can see the luxurious sort of leather seats right there. And then down below in the bottom level, you will be served a full breakfast and full lunch. We're going to take a look at that. And this is a great shot of our Gold Leaf rail car. Definitely lots of space to move around. The views are unparalleled out the windows, and you are really going to enjoy that. So our Gold Leaf service journey includes, again, the fully domed windows with the 360-degree views, all of the a la carte breakfast and fully multi-course lunches served in the exclusive lower level, so you can kind of see how it's broken out there. And just a great day awaiting you in our Gold Leaf service. So let's see. Let's talk about the luxury. The reclining seats are massively comfortable. The windows are panoramic, and the host, again, offers storytelling about your surrounding, all the history, how the mountain ranges were formed. Some of them are millennia old. And as the train passes through different changing landscapes from, gosh, you guys are going to get everything from glittering waters to like rugged wilderness. Our hosts will be tending to your every need. This is a great shot of one of our hosts telling stories. They're very engaging. You are going to have a great time. They're open to answer any questions, and they just are really good about making sure that you are comfortable and every need is attended to. So the culinary experience in our Gold Leaf service is complemented by a team of onboard chefs. You actually have your onboard chef with you. We have a kitchen in the rail car next to you where everything is prepared fresh. All of our menus are locally inspired using all of the local ingredients. You can see there they have fresh salmon, you're going to have fresh chicken, and you'll be dining in it's an elegant dining experience. It's pretty close quarters, so you are going to be sitting with some other people that are in the Gold Leaf service with you, and you will really be enjoying. It is a 3-course meal. You believe me, you are not hungry when you get off of our train. The menu courses are made again from locally sourced ingredients. Here's another shot of the salmon. But we also pull from local farms and fields in the regions that we travel through. Like we had peaches, a lot of peach inspired menu items on our Rockies to Red Rocks, and we are going to kind of look at that as well. This is a picture of me and one of my colleagues was Chef Caleb. So Chefy has curated all of these menus for you. This is just a sample of what your menu is going to look like. You do have fantastic options. This was actually on Rockies to the Red Rocks. But again, you can see that everything is sort of locally inspired and is reminiscent of the areas that you are seeing outside and where you are going. Each year, our chef reimagines our menus, and so he puts a new menu together every year. I have not had this salmon, but apparently that risotto is supposed to be ultra fantastic. So when you're on board, please order the salmon and the pesto risotto. I think you will be very much delighted. I've heard from multiple people. But like we also use prime Alberta beef. So the meal will always finish with a gorgeous dessert. And the dessert sizes are extremely generous. So you will have a fantastic time. Also, in our Gold Leaf service, you will have an outdoor viewing platform that gives you the opportunity to step outside, get some fresh air. It gets you right up close to nature and the great outdoors. Really fantastic. If you are a photography enthusiast, this is a great place to stand outside and just get some really good images and some good video footage. The viewing platforms fit, gosh, I'm going to say on Gold Leaf, they fit between 10 and 12 people, but not that many people go out there at the same time. So you are going to have a lot of space. And again, it's just a great idea to get some fresh air. Okay, so after your first incredible day on board, you will be exhausted by the time we get you to Kamloops, and you'll probably arrive there somewhat later in the evening, but you will have eaten all day long. And Kamloops is a great town just to maybe go out for a walk. There are some fantastic restaurants, there's local pubs. And again, there's a lot of great walking paths that you can experience because, again, it might be a little bit late when you arrive, but it's just you have an early morning the next day. So you probably just want to hunker down, revisit the day that you've had on board, and take it all in. So between Kamloops and Vancouver, you're going to see some really interesting scenery with vastly diverse topography. This is a full day of time on the train. There's a great image right here. You're going to be experiencing all kinds of wilderness. You're going to be traveling right up against the water. Great shot of the Rocky Mountaineer train. And it's really fun because a lot of people will stand outside and wait for the train to go by and take some of these great shots. And you're going to have a lot of people waving you off and waving to you while you're on the train. It's pretty fun to watch. So on day 6, you're going to arrive in Vancouver. And Vancouver is all of our guests either start in Vancouver, end in Vancouver. You guys are going to be ending in Vancouver, which is fantastic because you're going to have a full 2 days here, and you will be able to experience like all of the gorgeousness of Vancouver. Is truly a beautiful city. The background with snow-capped mountains, glistening ocean waters. You've got all kinds of dining experiences. You can get around by foot or a water taxi or by a bike. If you guys are bikers, that would be great. But you're going to have plenty of time in Vancouver, which will give you the opportunity to see Stanley Park, Granville Island, the famed Capilano suspension bridge, which I'm really looking forward to. This is a great shot of the suspension bridge, which is one of Vancouver's most iconic places to visit. And Vancouver it's sort of built on that seawall right there. So the Vancouver seawall is the world's largest uninterrupted waterfront path. So this is a great option for you guys to go for a walk or ride on a sunny day. The seawall takes you past all kinds of iconic destinations, again, like the Granville Island, which is off to the left, False Creek, which is off to the right, the historic neighborhood of Yaletown, which is right in the center there, and then, of course, Stanley Park. So great times in Vancouver, and you will be staying at the iconic Fairmont Hotel Vancouver, which is Canada's iconic castle in the city. Absolutely gorgeous, completely elevated experience. So that will end the tour of our first group, right? So it's 7 days. It's from July 30th to August 5th. And we do have an early booking bonus. Now, because our space is limited, I highly encourage you to jump on board, no pun intended, as soon as you can. We do have an early booking bonus going on right now. So for this particular group, we are offering $375 off per person on this Gold Leaf experience. That if you book prior to October 1st, you will receive that early booking bonus. If this particular group does not work for you, we can always look at a different one, but seats are limited. And John puts together a fantastic group with fantastic people. So hopefully a lot of you will take advantage of this. I think it will be a trip of a lifetime. Train rail is, or train travel right now is very highly sought after. It's like the old coming back and it's new again. And it is pretty special to be on board and experience this. So hopefully you will join us on board and we can celebrate you and make some lasting memories. Okay, so next up, we're going to talk about second group, which is our Canyon Spirit, Rockies to the Red Rocks. I'm going to have to move pretty quickly through this, but this is the experience that I just got off of, and it is absolutely fantastic. You're going to be traveling through American Southwest on our newly expanded Rockies to the Red Rocks. So it used to be just Denver to Glenwood Springs into Moab. Now we take you all the way up to Salt Lake City, again, which makes things much easier for our groups to get in and out. Moab does give us a little bit of difficulty. There's one little airport there. But you will be staying in the charming town of Glenwood Springs, which I am in love with Glenwood Springs, and then again in Moab. So this is going to be an epic 3-day journey, 3 days on the train. Like there's not very many routes we have that give you 3 days on the train. And I think this is such a beautiful shot of exactly what you will be doing and what you will be seeing. I told you I wanted to kind of tell you a funny story. I lived in San Diego and moved to Kansas City 3 years ago. However, my family, we used to drive from San Diego to Nebraska all the time. Our kids preferred to drive instead of fly. Because the scenery was, and that's crazy for kids, right? It's 26 hours. But the scenery is so spectacular and so diverse, and the topography has so much to offer. And we used to have names for all of the signature mountains and like millennia old, it looks like fossils and dinosaurs from a completely different era. Come to find out, all of those formations actually really do have names, and you will get to find those out when you are traveling with us. But this is an incredible journey. You can't do anything but marvel at just the beauty and the vast canyons around you and the awe-inspiring deserts. Like, there is so much beauty in the desert. I think you guys are traveling in October, so that's going to be a really good time to go. If that doesn't work for you, the desert offers all kinds of amazing beauty, and the desert just comes to life in the spring with all of its florals on the cacti, the rolling hills, the sagebrush, juniper trees everywhere. Learn something new. Didn't know that juniper berries were probably not the best to eat, but they also make gin. You make gin out of juniper berries, so you will learn that as well. So this will be your journey. Start in Denver. You're going to be going through Glenwood Springs, spending the night, on to Moab the next day, spending the night, and then we'll be taking you up to Salt Lake City. So let's go ahead and take a look at your onboard experience with us, because it is fantastic. So if you're traveling in Canada and you don't do the Gold Leaf experience, not with this particular group that we've just got done reviewing, but if you wanted to experience our Silver Leaf cars are what we are using in the America Southwest. And a lot of people ask, why don't you have the Gold Leaf experience? Well, we don't have that because the tunnels in the United States are not tall enough for the bi-level. So we have to use our single dome. But I will tell you, it is every bit as comfortable. It is every bit as luxurious. You will be dining at your seats, and our hosts are absolutely fantastic. So this is what our single level cars look like. That's me off to the right there. And this is our team while we were just on board last week. Really great team, really good experience.
Imagine a wondrous journey where something new awaits around every bend. Burnt orange vistas carved with colossal canyons, bighorn sheep below even bigger skies, spectacular red rock spires sculpted by time itself, and regionally inspired cuisine with handcrafted cocktails. Introducing Canyon Spirit, an elevated rail adventure through the American Southwest and a gateway to America's most iconic national parks, the Mighty Five and beyond. From Armstrong Collective, the travel visionaries behind Rocky Mountaineer, enjoy over 35 years of hospitality expertise, the storied landscapes of the American Southwest, as well as exceptional comfort and service, are just around the bend with Canyon Spirit.
And you can't get to any of these places by car or foot, right? The train is a really special experience. The areas we travel through serve as, again, inspiration. Okay, these are the sugar-coated waffles with fresh blueberries and crispy bacon. I had heard stories, but until you actually try them, they are pretty fantastic. And I don't even eat waffles, but I ate every last bite. It was amazing. So again, all the food on board is elevated. It's going to be luxury food. It's served to you at your seat. Everything is plated to your preference. And if you do have dietary requirements, I can tell you right now, our hosts on board will take care of you. One of our teammates was celiac, so gluten-free, and the care and consideration that they gave her in separate menu items, separate desserts. Half of them I really just wanted to eat along with mine. We really do make sure that you are taken care of on board and that it is the elevated experience that Rocky Mountaineer does provide. So we pretty much cater to everything to you on board. As you can see, one of our hosts here is pouring drinks, and they tell stories about all the passing regions. So remember, I told you, I had my own names for all of the structures and canyons. Come to find out that there's actually real names and stories behind them. So I'm going to have to share those with my kids. But this is the Silverleaf. I'm going to call it Silverleaf Train, viewing platforms. Spent a lot of time out there. It's fantastic. Only 4 people can really fit out on these platforms, but it does make the scenery a little bit closer. Great for all of those photography images that you want to capture, and just a really great first day on the train. So Denver, we're starting in Denver, right? Denver has a vibrant culture. So I shouldn't have said starting on the train. You haven't gotten on the train. That was all about the service and what that particular train, our Silverleaf train, looks like for you. But you're starting in Denver. Denver has all kinds of vibrant arts and culture. I mean, we all are aware of Denver. And I have to tell you, next year is the 250th birthday of America. And a lot of people are wanting to stay close to home. They're wanting to experience America at its finest, and do all the local experiences. And this Canyon Spirit experience is perfect for next year. But you are going to be, while in Denver, staying at one of our partner hotels. I stayed at Hotel Indigo. Upscale, fantastic. It's right across from the train station. The Crawford Hotel is actually in Union Station, which is where we now are housed. Or you could be at the Raleigh Hotel. All of these are elevated hotels that we are partners with. And part of our exciting news is that we are now housed. The new home of Rocky Mountaineer is out of the Union Station in Denver. Our team collaborated for many years to make this happen. And finally, the rail powers that be got everything approved. And it is just beautiful. The Denver Union Station is beautiful. It's the perfect beginning to your journey, your elevated luxury journey, taking you from Denver to Glenwood Springs on this first night. This is what you're going to look at all along the way. You're going to have, you're going to go through the Moffat Tunnel into Winter Park. You're going to see Gore Canyon, Burns Canyon, again, storytelling all across the way. And when you do board, this is what it looks like. We roll out the red carpet for everyone. That's me with my ticket. Super excited. And there's our team off to the right, and you can see Union Station right behind there. Just a great, fantastic way to start your day on an incredible journey on Rocky Mountaineer. And when you board, you're going to receive your breakfast. And like I said, your breakfast toast. And then your hosts will start explaining all the scenery around you while you enjoy your 3-course lunch that will be on board. You want to make sure to keep your camera nearby. I was shocked actually by in the flat plains, you know, you're crossing over the international divide, and there is so much to look at, but I really wasn't aware of all these fields and how much produce was actually created and or grown out in these regions. So from Denver to Glenwood Springs, you'll be crossing again the Continental Divide. You're going to be passing through Gore Canyon. Here is the Big Ten Curve, which again is sort of an engineering feat. It's very cool to experience that. So all of these natural wonders, man-made wonders, all fantastic. This is actually a perfect picture of the Palisade peach groves. And my mom yesterday just literally said, the Colorado peaches are out. I'm so excited. I can't wait to go purchase them. So it's actually a thing, which I think is fantastic. So your midpoint stop on Rockies to the Red Rocks is going to be in Glenwood Springs, which is known as Land of the Living Waters, which we kind of talked about. Glenwood Springs is famous for its incredible mountain scenery, and it is absolutely incredible. If you've been to Palm Desert, it's a little bit like that, sort of nestled right up against these massive mountain structures. Tons of culinary options for you. The hot springs are gorgeous. It is just a great, charming town. Doc Holliday's history is there. Just learned that he died when he was 32 and that he was a dentist. He's a gunslinger and a dentist. Who knew? These are our hotel partners. Glenwood Springs, we've got in Glenwood Springs, we've got the Courtyard by Marriott. We've also got the Hotel Colorado and the Hotel Denver. Hotel Colorado, if you have the opportunity to stay there, is a haunted hotel. Stayed there many times. It is absolutely beautiful. A lot of history to that hotel. There's Doc Holliday Tavern. Super fun. We were able to go into there. Great image. Here's a picture of some of the hot springs in the downtown. Just a super cute, quaint town. I love Glenwood Springs. I would love to live there. Okay, on day 2, the train is going from Glenwood Springs to the unique and beautiful bucket list item of Moab, Utah. And as you travel through all of these little towns and just the river, you're winding along the river. It is just beautiful. The scenery is incredible. Like I said, it's like from another world. Heading into Moab, it's pretty amazing. All the shimmering red rocks, the oasis of the desert. It's going to be pretty hot. So definitely we keep our trains very, very cool. So you're going to want to layer up while you're on board with us, because when you step outside, it will be quite warm. But when you're on board with us, it is quite cool. We do that on purpose to keep the cars cool, because they are glass tops domes. So we just want to make sure that nobody is sweating inside. But you're going to see all these otherworldly rock formations. In Moab, you've got all kinds of unique shopping, pottery stores, all kinds of fun things. We do partner with the Moab Adventure Center. They provide over, I'm going to say 300 excursions that you can do. They will take you to all we went to the Arches tour that was included in I think that's also included in your group. All kinds of activities. Definitely you can visit the Arches at night. Absolutely gorgeous. You've got the Mighty Five that if you want to spend extra time there, you can do that. Our hotel partners are the Hoodoo, and I think it's the Courtyard over there. And then we're going to take you into Salt Lake City. I don't have a lot of imagery between Moab and Salt Lake City, but it is every bit as gorgeous. And our hotel partners there are just top bar, the American Grand. Just really Salt Lake City for me. I had never been there, and it was a truly. I loved Salt Lake City. We went to a comedy show. Lots of great things to do there. So we also have an early booking bonus for this particular group. And again, these groups are going to fill up quite quickly. This one, when you book, you're going to get $350 off per person. So John and his team will facilitate all of that for you. And then we do have an exclusive offer. If one of these does not work for you, one of these groups, which I recommend you book into them, you're going to have a great time. But if one of them does not work, we are offering for the next 2 weeks. If you book any other itinerary with us, you will get $50 off per person. And oh, I have to tell you, the Moab Adventure Center was fantastic. We did Arches National Park. We did the scenic Hummer tour. That was our Hummer, literally going 32 degrees sideways. This was our Hummer driver. His name was Craig. He was hilarious. Great scenery. Did things I never I was on levels of mountains I never expected to be at, and it was hilarious. So these are your groups again with the pricing. I'm going to let John take over from here. And that's all I have today. I really hope you guys book into these groups. I promise you're going to have an amazing time. I've heard from multiple people one of the best experiences that they've ever done in travel. And I can attest to that, having just come off Rockies to the Red Rocks. And that's all I have for you.
Thanks, Kristen. Can you confirm you can hear me now?
I can hear you. Yep.
Okay, because I was trying to talk during the videos, but I couldn't tell if you could help me or not.
Oh,
I
I
can hear
couldn't
you now.
hear you. I'm
No,
sorry.
no worries. It's all right. So a couple of things. While you were doing the presentation, I did talk to our videographer. If you send me the videos, she says she can drop them into the webinar. So the people
Perfect.
who didn't attend live might not ever know there was a sound issue. So gotta love modern technology. But if you could get those to me right away, so we can get that out tonight. A couple of things I wanted to add. First off, since you just ended on the pricing, I want to make sure that everybody understands that that early booking discount would be for booking outside of the groups. And the reason for that is those prices that we list on both of those groups already includes the early booking discount. And our agreement with Rocky Mountaineer is where the early booking discount ends October 1st, if I remember correctly. The
Mm-hmm.
early booking discount on both of our groups will be valid up until the group closes, which, if I understand, is 90 or 120 days prior to departure. So basically, when we went in and negotiated this deal, we said we don't want to have, we kind of ran into this to an issue in a previous trip where we came out and we announced it, and then we were put in a position of going to members and saying, you have to book, in the next 2 or 3 weeks, or the price is going to go up, hundreds of dollars. And that's a situation we don't like to be in. So actually, the prices already include the early booking discount, and that early booking discount will be available up until the group closes, which I don't know if you know it off the top of your head, Chris, and I don't know if it's standard or whatever, but it's like 90, 120 days prior to departure. But
Yeah, I'll have to look. Yeah.
yeah, we'll probably be sold out by then anyway. For those of you who logged in early, we only have 30 seats on both of these groups, and we had almost 250 people register for this webinar. And it's actually for those who read the newsletter that goes out tomorrow actually is going to have a reference to this. So we expect them to fill up quickly. And one other thing, I was taking notes when you were talking, and I just wanted to make people understand, because we've had this come up before where people talk about, I don't want to use the word disappointment, but they thought that they would sleep on the trains. And I'm going to tell you, you don't get that question from people who've slept on trains before. You do not want to sleep on a train. The rooms, on a train, even if you get a private car, is like a closet. They don't have private baths or showers. So if they even have a shower, you're at the end of the train, once again in a very, very small room. You are going to so much more enjoy. We've not had anyone who's been on Rocky Mountain ever complain about the fact that you're on this beautiful train. It's got the dining car, the drinks, the unbelievable scenery. And then in the evening, you get off the train and they take you to a four-star or a luxury hotel, and you have all the amenities and everything that you would expect on a luxury vacation. You would never get that on a train, just because of the space requirements. You know, you can't have that size of a room. So don't be disappointed that you're not going to be able to sleep on the train. You should be happy that you're not sleeping on the train. And as I said, I've slept on trains before. I don't know if you have, Chris, and anyone who ever does it will sit there and say, you know, it is, you know, they're trains, they're small.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I add on to that super
Yes,
quick,
of
John?
course.
I just want to say, when you're sleeping on a train, you're missing out on everything that you booked that train experience for. Like, you're sleeping through all this gorgeous scenery. And John's right. We don't want you to sleep on our train. We don't want you to miss out on that. We want to give you the key to your luxury hotel. You go to your room. Your luggage is already in your room waiting for you. And then you've got all this time to explore the town and really take in the culture. So, yeah,
Yeah, you really can't see much out of a train at night if
no.
you've been on a train at night either. So, yeah. So I just wanted to reiterate because you know, as I said, we've heard from people before who haven't done it. It's like, oh, I thought that we were gonna, you know, sleep on the train, and it's like, yeah, no,
No,
that's a no.
you don't want
Okay,
to.
so we'll run through these questions really quick. Somebody asked how many passengers on the bus. I assume that varies slightly depending on the itinerary, you know, US, Canada, whatever. I know the standard capacity is 48 to 56. Anything you would like to correct on that as far as the capacity for the buses?
Right. So our train cars hold 72. We try to keep them right at 65 or 66. And then you will be directed to the luxury motor coaches. And I believe you're right. I think we try to keep one full train car on each motor coach. So they might be a little bit extended in size. Um, that's my understanding, but I will confirm that.
Okay.
Yep.
Somebody asked if they would have time to take a boat in Lake Louise. I answered and said, to my knowledge, they have canoes rentals and they're like guided
Mm.
canoe experiences kind of thing. But to my knowledge, there are not motorized or guided boat tours on Lake Louise. But can we at least address what the free time is when you stop in Lake Louise? Do we have a rough idea? Because I know they have free time. Is it sort of like your afternoon is free? Do you know?
Let me look at because I have, let me see how much time we have. You guys are in Banff for 2 days, correct? Day 3 and part of day 4.
Mhm.
So Lake Louise, you could get there. Absolutely. If that's what you want your day to look like. And I would say that's going to take up most of your day. I actually will be doing that as well because I think it's important. I think Lake Louise is absolutely beautiful. I want to go experience that as well. But I think you're correct. It is canoes. And that might be
Yeah,
something to also
I
look
don't think
at.
they allow motorized boats on the
No,
lake because, you know, if you're looking at the lake, you don't want to hear a bunch of boats or see a bunch of boats out on the water. I mean, obviously, you might personally want to go out there, but it's a better experience for everybody else, scenery wise, that you don't have that. And that, you know,
right.
things change. But I know, you know, we started doing, I think the first one of these we did was in 2021, if I remember correctly. It's one of the first groups we did coming out of COVID. We did
Mm,
Mississippi River Cruise and we did Rockies to Red Rocks because you couldn't go to Canada or Europe or whatever. And
right.
yeah, okay. But I think the next year when we went to Canada, I think this came up then, and when at least back in 2023, I guess is what I'm trying to say. There were no motorized boats on Lake Louise. So,
I don't believe there are in today. And also, you guys are going to be there at a perfect time, July 30th through August 5th. So I think everything will be beautiful in like the beauty of summer. It's a really perfect time to be there.
well, you'd almost think we planned it that way, wouldn't you?
You would think,
Yeah.
John.
Okay, somebody asked about the Rocky Mountaineer trains giving way to freight trains. Um,
Hmm.
I mean, without even looking it up, I would have assumed yes, because you know they're longer, they go faster for the most part. Um, you know, I asked US
Yes.
or Canada, they said both. Do you know? I mean, I would assume that
Yes.
just like Amtrak, that the freight trains have, you know, the right of way, so to speak.
Yes, and we do share tracks. So even on my past experience, we did have to pull over for about a half an hour. and let the freight train pass. And I know 100% that will probably happen in Canada. So I would anticipate that, but it does not take away from the overall experience.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll probably say this, and then somebody might actually send in a complaint, but I will tell you that we have done between Rockies and Red Rocks and Canadian Rockies. If I'm doing correctly, I think we've done six trip groups with you with MOA.
Yeah,
Never had a complaint from anybody about having to yield to the freight trains because you think you're on a luxury train. There are beverages being served, and it's an opportunity to talk to your fellow guests. You can still look out the window. You can go out to the viewing platform. There's plenty of things to do, kind of in that momentary pause, let's say, during that trip. Somebody asked
exactly.
about smoking, unless it's changed. My understanding is there's no smoking on the trains or the buses, and that includes the viewing platform. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. See, some of these I
Yep.
know. This is what I get when I do my seventh Rocky Mountaineer webinar. I start to learn these things. It only
Well
takes me
done.
seven. Um, okay, and then we've got seven new questions come in. Kristen said there was a $50 discount on 2025 and 2026 offerings. This was confusing. Um,
I'm sorry. So that is for everybody who's joining today. If one of these groups timing didn't work out for you, or you wanted a different experience and you decide to do something else, if you book with John and his team, we will offer you a $50 discount on whatever itinerary you decide on.
Okay. So if you go on the groups are already deeply discounted as people who've done these before. We actually negotiate these with the companies and try to get the absolute best deal we can. So if the groups don't work for you, in addition to the early booking discount, there'll be a MOA exclusive amenity of a $50 discount on any 2025 or 2026 Rocky Mountaineer
That's
trip.
correct. Yep.
Do
Yep.
you book your own airfare? Most people do. Do you guys offer air, Kristen? I don't remember that one.
We do not.
You do
Yeah,
not,
we do
yes.
not.
So you'd be on your own for air. I had a column on this, I think, a few months ago for those who follow the newsletter. By the way, if this is the first webinar you're signing up for, you do get a free subscription to the newsletter. It's a free newsletter, so I should just say you get a subscription to the newsletter. But and this is going to be a little bit longer answer. I apologize, but post COVID, the airlines have become very difficult to work with. So if you were to book through a vendor, say a cruise line or a tour company, if you were booked through MOA Vacations, if you were to book through a third party platform, be it Expedia or any of the different ones they own, and you have an issue and you call the airlines are now, for the most part, refusing to help you if you call the airline. This is more important internationally, but typically what we do, Dave, if you called us and said, "Can I help with the airfare?" we would help you find the best flights, and you'll come back to you and say, "Oh, American, they have a flight leaving at 12:35. It's AA, 2525, whatever the flight number is." But then suggest to you that you go and book that directly on the airline website. So if you have any issues, concerns, problems, you'll communicate directly with the airline. Also, they are a lot better flight schedule changes to notify passengers directly. If you download their app, everybody wants you to download an app. Then American Airline or whoever it is, United, Southwest, whoever it is, will send you updates. So they'll like send you your flight's now boarding or your flight schedule has changed and those types of things. So we're still willing to help you find your flights, but rather than us booking it, and yeah, we forego some commissions in doing that. But for you as the traveler, you are much better served to book directly with the airline currently. I mean, it was better
Hmm.
pre-COVID, but you're always better to book your own flights with the airline. And as I said, I'm a big proponent. I have probably 15 different airline apps on my phone. You can pause them when you're not on it, so you don't constantly get updates. But it is nice when you're getting up and ready to go to the airport in the morning and you get a text and Southwest says your flight's been delayed from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, so I know that I have another hour to relax and have a cup of coffee and a donut before I go to the airport and sit there for 2 hours. Okay. I said that was going to be a long. I'm a big proponent on the whole air thing. Kristen briefly mentioned an option that would include Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, and Moab. Is that an option?
Yes. So we do, if you decide to do the 2 day rail experience on Rockies to the Red Rocks, you will end your journey in Moab, which will give you the opportunity to spend as much time there as you want and explore all the different excursions and the beauty of just the desert out there. But then we also have Mercedes Sprinters that will take you into Las Vegas, and we drop you at the MGM Park Hotel. And you know what? We don't provide a hotel in Las Vegas because everybody has their own favorite hotel in Vegas. So we gave that part up, but we do have that option for you as well.
I think people have their favorite casino in Las Vegas, not
That's
their
probably
favorite
true. That's probably
hotel.
true.
I like gambling here. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. And so once again, that is, we talk about this. We have the two MOA groups, but they have other itineraries. They have shorter itineraries. They have rail only, have all that. So if you're not interested in the groups, your best bet is, and we're going to go away from the screen in just a second. So please make note of the phone number and the email address so you can reach out and get a MOA professional consultant who will walk you through everything. This is also included in the email. So tonight, when we send out the email that's going to have this video in it, we'll make sure we include that information to contact us. Chris, as we discussed, the prices do not include airfare. Obviously, airfare varies greatly depending on where you're flying from. So it's difficult to include airfare, because obviously somebody living in Denver going to Rockies and Red Rocks only has return flight. Somebody living in Alaska, it's going to be a lot further. Okay. Somebody asked if we could see the prices again. Do you mind going back one slide?
Oh, absolutely. And I do want to tell you, and everybody who's on today, that this is the biggest year that Rocky Mountaineer has had, which is a huge testament to train travel and this experience right now. I think it is just such a unique, elevated luxury experience that we're the only ones in the world who do this. I mean, we're the only ones well, I should say in North America that does this, and we do it well. We do this job well. And again, we're family owned. They take great pride in making sure that our guests have a fantastic time. And actually, our Rockies to the Red Rocks experience is our guest approval rating right now is massively high.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I asked about the pricing. Are there excursions included while we are in Banff, or is it all free time and we book our own?
Let me see what is included in your Banff. You have the sightseeing, mountain lakes and waterfalls. And I think, yes, you have a full day sightseeing tour, learning about the natural forests and highlighting Lake Louise, Yoho National Park, Spiral Tunnels, Emerald Lake, the Natural Bridge, and the Takaka Falls. And I think you have the gondola. I think that's also included in yours. Does that sound about right?
Yep, it does. We do have, by the way, a website. It was included in the email invitations we sent out, but we'll include a link to that. Basically, we took, there's a 2-page front and back flyer for both of these groups. We actually posted it up on the web so you can just view it online. And it kind of goes through and talks about all the inclusions so you can see that. So if you go to the website and under inclusions, it's going to say sightseeing tour of the Banff region, Banff gondola, so it goes through all the inclusions, and it does have a day by day description,
Mm-hmm.
and it shows the meals that you have every day. It includes that itinerary map. So we try when we do these webinars to have not only you can listen to the webinar, but you can go online and see it as well. So like everything else we've discussed, when you get that email this evening, that's going to have a link to the webinar. It's going to have our contact information. There'll also be a link to this website so you can actually look and read it at your leisure if you prefer doing that from going to that portion of the webinar and re-listening it. So, are there assigned seats? Can we talk about
Yes.
the train car and the buses?
Yep. The buses do not have assigned seats, but the train cars do. And that will be your seat for the duration. So if you have specific people that you want to sit with, if say there's 6 of you, John, we can go ahead and have those booking numbers toggled together.
Yep. Yeah.
And so on day one, our hosts will serve your breakfast and lunch from the front to the back of the car. On day two, they will serve from the back to the front so that nobody's left out having to wait too long.
There you go.
Yeah.
First shall be last. There you go.
That's
Okay.
right.
Can we show the dates? Hopefully you can see the dates up on the screen. Once again, the dates are also on the website. Um, does the band stop include Jasper?
You are not
Yeah,
going to Jasper on this experience.
yeah. There are Journey to the Clouds has Jasper. I understand that because when we did Journey to the Clouds in 2023 is when they had the Jasper fires. So that group
Yeah.
actually had to deviate and not go to Jasper. It was after the fires, but the concern would have been, I've been doing this 40 years now, and same thing kind of with hurricanes and stuff like that. The hurricane comes through, and then people are like, "Oh, can I go to St. Thomas?" And they don't stop to think that yeah, the hurricane passed through, but all the damage is there. So
Mm-hmm.
our trip wasn't during Jasper, but the decision was made to skip Jasper because so much of the area was kind of destroyed. It really wasn't the scenic trip that people were paying for. So we worked with Rocky Mountaineer and they came up with an alternative to it. So that's kind of an aside. But anyway, if you want to go to Jasper, David, as I said, we just did that Journey to the Clouds in 2023. We may do it again in 2027 or 2028. We kind of try to vary it up. So, if somebody went on Journey to the Clouds 2 years ago, they have an option if and you saw the comments, and people just loved the
Mm.
Rocky Mountaineer experience that we had at the beginning. Is if you want to go to Rocky Mountaineer again, most people don't want to do the same itinerary, so we kind of change it up. But if you want to go to Jasper, I know Journey of the Clouds go there because we did that group and we had the entire issue with the Jasper fires. Um, Kristen, do you have another itinerary that does go to Jasper? You have a
The,
much longer one that goes to it, right?
yeah, we have the circle journey
Yep.
and we have just journey to the clouds.
Okay, just Journey to the
Yeah.
Clouds. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
That would be
Yeah.
the end of the questions. Thanks everyone for attending. It's going to take a little while because we're going to try dropping in the videos that have the whatchamacallit, that have the sound
Sound.
to them. So we want to do that. So anytime I have to rely on somebody else, I got to go to Allie and tell Allie to drop these 3 videos in and everything else. But at some time tonight. It may be late, but we're going to get that video out, and so we'll have the webinar with the sound on the videos, and we'll have all the information that we send out to you. But once again, if you want to go, please give us a call, drop us an email. If you're at the beginning, we were talking about how we only had 30 seats on each of these. If we sell out, we can go to Rocky Mountaineer and request more space. Doesn't mean we're going to get it. Obviously they would prefer to sell it at full price than at the discounted price, but we have a great relationship with them. So certainly once we hit mid 20s, we're going to reach out and see if we can get more space. So anyway, would love it if you could join us. With that, I'm gonna sign off. Kristen, I'm gonna turn it over to you for the last word.
Oh, well, I just am so thankful to be here today. Thanks for having me, John. I'm super excited for your attendance. It is a great product, and I highly encourage everybody to, if this is on your bucket list, now is a great time to do it. John has a fantastic rate for you, great group space, excellent dates, and I think both itineraries will, you know, it will fulfill every expectation that you have. So we will look forward to seeing you all on board.
There you go. And I'm going to add something just because you said it that I just want to emphasize. And if you've never traveled with a MOA group before, everyone who does it talks about how much it adds to the experience. I always
Mm.
use this to friends you haven't met yet, but when you're going to get in, you're going to meet the fellow MOA members, and then you're going to see this amazing experience. And it's always great when you travel if you could share the experience with other people So you have somebody you can talk to. You're sitting there having dinner or breakfast or lunch or whatever it is, and you're just talking about the amazing things you've seen and done. It really brings the experience to life. So hopefully you can join us on a group. If you can't do a group, hopefully you have the opportunity to go on Rocky Mountaineer. Bye, everyone.
Excellent. Bye.